The Hollow Man. Late one evening, in the sleepy town of Whispering Pines, Emily sat alone in her old, creaky house. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows and making the shadows dance on the walls. The town was notorious for its ghost stories, but Emily never believed them until that night. As the clock struck midnight, she heard a faint knock at the door. Confused, she hesitated, but the knock came again, louder this time. Emily slowly approached the door and peered through the peephole. No one was there. She opened the door just a crack, her heart pounding in her chest. The wind gusted in, carrying a whisper with it, a voice so soft it was almost drowned out by the storm. "Emily." Her breath caught in her throat. She slammed the door shut and locked it, her hands trembling. She backed away, feeling a cold dread settle in her stomach. Suddenly, the lights flickered and went out, plunging the house into darkness. Emily's breathing quickened as she fumbled for her phone, but it was dead. She could barely make out the shapes in the room, but she noticed something was off. The shadows were wrong, twisted. A faint glow began to emanate from the corner of the room. Emily's eyes widened as she saw a figure slowly emerge from the darkness. It was tall, impossibly thin, with hollow, empty eyes that seemed to suck in all the light around it. Its skin was ashen, stretched tight over its bones, and it moved with a jerky, unnatural gait. The figure raised a bony hand and pointed at her, its mouth opening wide in a silent scream. Emily wanted to run, to scream, but she was paralyzed with fear. The Hollow Man began to move closer, the temperature in the room dropping with each step. "Emily!" The voice was louder now, echoing in her mind, filling her with an overwhelming sense of despair. She stumbled backward, her back hitting the wall. The Hollow Man was inches away now, its cold breath chilling her to the bone. It leaned in close, its hollow eyes locking onto hers. "You let me in," it whispered, its voice like the rustling of dead leaves. "Now I will never leave." In an instant, the figure lunged at her, and everything went black. The next morning, the townspeople found Emily's house silent and still. They knocked on the door, but there was no answer. When they finally broke in, they found the house empty. The only sign of Emily was a single handprint on the wall, smeared as if she had been dragged into the darkness. And in the corner of the room, where the Hollow Man had stood, the shadows were darker than they should have been, as if something was still lurking there, waiting for the next person to let it in.